Ms. Flores, I understand that you represent Mrs. Carmen Del Crystal Arigullin?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Yes.
Okay. This one move a little closer, so I can.
To you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sure.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Can you please tell me your name for the record? Is your true and correct name Carmen Del Crystal Arigullin?
That's correct.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and explain some rights to you, okay? I'll make sure that you fully understand them. They're very important, and that way you can understand everything that's going on here today, and that way we can get this process started, okay? Is that fine? Okay. Is your true and correct name Carmen Del Crystal Arigullin? Is that a yes? Okay, ma'am. Is your date of birth August 17th, 2001? Okay. I'm going to let you know what you're being charged with right now. You're being charged with murder in the first degree. That carries a rating punishment of no less than 5 years, no more than 99 years in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice. Do you understand that? That is? Okay. And an optional fine, if you're found guilty, of $10,000. Do you understand that? Okay. I'm going to take that as a yes. Is that fine? Okay. Are you an American citizen?
Yes.
Okay. You're afforded certain rights to the Constitution of the state, which is Texas, and the United States of America. Okay. You have the right to have an attorney represent you. To your left, you have the Honorable Rey Sepulveda. Is he your counselor?
Yes.
Okay. You have the right to have an attorney with you, present you prior and during any type of interview with law enforcement agents. You understand that? The individuals to your right, those are law enforcement agents, okay? You're not required to give a statement, but if you do give a statement, you understand that statement can and may be held against you at a later court date. You understand that? That is? Okay. You can stop the interview at any point in time, okay? That is? Okay. Because it's a felony, you have the right to an examining trial. An examining trial is where you challenge the probable cause on the basis of this arrest, okay? You understand that, right? Okay. And last but not least, you have the right to a court-appointed attorney, and you cannot afford an attorney or hire counsel. You understand that? Now, in this case, we already hired Mr. Redford, so we're going to go forward. Is there any confusion that you have or anything you didn't understand?
She's fine, Judge. I'll explain later the nature of the offensive charges, Judge. Obviously, just because of the nature, or the timing of my employment, Judge, I have not had the ability to converse with her. I have had the opportunity to speak with certain family members, Judge. Again, without interrupting, when the court was ready to take up the issue of bond, I'd just like to make some arguments.
Sure, absolutely.
I don't know where they're yet, Judge, but just to let you know that Ms. Carmen may not necessarily know my presence until this morning at this hearing because of the nature of, or the timing of which you hired me.
No, understandable, Mr. Flores, and I think that I know you well, and I know that you're a practice attorney here in Dallas County for some time already. So, floor is yours.
Thank you, Judge. Obviously, we're here before the court with one of the most serious offenses that one could be charged with. And on top of that, the victim in this case is her brother, Judge. And so we're dealing with some pretty tough times for the family. Mom and dad are present in the courtroom, Judge, and as you can imagine, the grief that they must be feeling at this point, Judge, having their daughter being accused of murdering their son, Judge. With that being said, Miss Carmen is 21 years old, Judge, never been arrested before. She and her brother, prior to maintain residency with her father at an apartment here in Edinburg for the last 4 years. Her father is employed the evidence detention as a correctional officer. I believe he's been there for at least 7, 8 years. 13 years, Judge. In fact, he was at work when this incident happened, Judge. Again, we believe that there are conditions that can be imposed that will assure Carmen's appearance at all future court dates. Obviously, in speaking with her this morning, Judge, I believe there are also some mental evaluations that we'd like to, not this court, a later court, do some examinations to make sure of her competency. And so, in speaking to the parents, obviously Mrs. Carmen doesn't work, Judge, and so we're only looking at the income that parents are able to generate at this point. I believe the father mentioned that he makes about $3,000 a month, and the mom works at DHR in the sanitary department, and she makes about $1,800. And so that we have, resources that are limited, Judge. And while we're asking that the court take into consideration the safety of the community, Judge, I think there are conditions that can be met that will assure the safety, her appearance, and plus having Ms. Crystal Arigullin allow me to do the evaluations and the consulting with not only her but family members. And so having a bond set that is reasonable, Judge, I think is important at this stage. And so we're asking for the court to set a reasonable bond, Judge, somewhere around $500,000.
Very well, thank you for that, Mr. Fox. Thank you for the information. Allows us good to know where they come from, how much family makes, and as you know, bond isn't, the Constitution, bond is not to punish the defendant, just to ensure that they will show up to court. Taking everything into consideration, taking the nature of the offense, I think it's at this time, at this point in time, Mr. Flores, I will order a bond of $1 million, cash surety for the time being, and I will take your advice of ordering her to mental health evaluation with the county resources that we have here.
And I'm not sure if there's any accommodations that the court can make with respect to invitations, and I haven't spoken to her, and I don't know if that can be done here, and if it can be done, then I'll wait till she gets the county.
We'll certainly address that with the county to see what we can do to accommodate, given the nature of education and that nature. Very well, sir. I appreciate you coming in, sir. Appreciate you working diligently in this case, and we'll see you soon. We'll see you next time. I'll make excuse. Thank you, Judge.
This is a form that we interpret with the interest of
I don't know what the policy is to try to get the probable cause affidavit. Is that a written request that I need to make to the court?
Certainly a written request, but we'll send it over to you. Certainly important to be transparent and make sure we work on this case already.
It was a Sunday morning, or really, it was Saturday night. This is correct. Saturday night, a little after 11 p.m., the Edinburg Police Department was called in reference to that a male subject was unresponsive. Officers went out there, responded to the call, and when the officer arrived, he observed a gentleman laying on the floor, blood to his head, and he was unresponsive. So the officer called EMS. They checked him. Just as the police came out, and he was pronounced dead.
So this is a gunshot wound to the head? Just
right,
one?
it was a gunshot wound to the head, just one shot.
Can you tell us what led to that gunshot?
Well, we can't and we don't want to speculate. All we know, it was a brother and a sister. They had a handgun. A report that they were playing around with a handgun, and the sister shot her brother in the head.
Can you ID the victim at this point?
Yes, the victim to this is Andres Arigullin III, and his the person arrested, which was the sister, is Carmen Del Crystal Arigullin.
And she's 21, correct?
Yes, sir.
Can you just brief us as to the charge, the bond that was issued to Ms. Arigullin?
Well, since it did occur and she was brought to the police department, she gave us a statement. She did say that she did pull the trigger. She was charged with murder.
What message would the police department like to send out to the community? Obviously, these individuals were playing apparently with a handgun and it went off, or accidentally, or...
Our message out there is do not play with guns. Someone, as we've seen, can seriously be hurt and die from that. So you have a handgun, keep it under lock and key. Especially don't let children have access to the gun. But in this case, they were misusing the handgun, and this is what the outcome was.
Do we know if they were under the influence of alcohol, drugs, and other substances at that point?
We do not know at this point.
Who owns the gun? Who does the gun belong to?
I don't know who owns the gun.
Was the gun just sitting out, or did they like open it in a safe somewhere?
That I don't know. I just know that well, we understand the person who shot, which is the female, had the gun in her possession. That's all we know. We don't know where the gun came from, or who produced the gun, or who is the owner of the gun.
Do we know who notified authorities of this incident?
It was called through to our police department as a suicide at first. So we believe that the person that called in was the person who shot.
Were they the only ones like in the home? Was there anybody else around? Was there like mom?
There are no other witnesses that we know of at this time. We only know that they two were the only two inside the apartment.
What kind of handgun was it?
It was a small black handgun.
No, because
Do you guys have a check registration on it?
No, at this time we don't have that.
It's not being moved right now.
Do you have any background if there was like a sibling rivalry between the two?
At this time we don't have that. Whether they were drivers or what led to this. All we know is that what the statement that we received was that she pulled the trigger, and this was the outcome.
Was he shot at point blank range or from a distance?
No, he was shot. He was shot pretty close, as what I have heard.
So why murder, not manslaughter?
Well, that is the charge that investigations, and through the investigation, that is the charge that we believe, and the Edinburg Police Department believes, is the appropriate charge at this time.
Do you guys feel that it was premeditated in any way?
At this time, we do not know. It's still under investigation, and we still have some more investigating to do to see and pick up some more facts. But at this time, we do have enough probable cause to arrest the person.
So what's next in this case? Will there be a trial date set?
At this time, after the arraignment, the female was transported to the Hidalgo County Jail. Her bond is $1 million. She can post bond at the county jail and be released. There are other pre-hearing cases before the main case. It's up to her attorney to take care of any other proceedings that happen in the court system.